Yes, Will, with Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society, it's a very exciting day because look what we have here. This box came all the way from the UK. It is from 88 Films. And guess what? I already opened it because I thought that would be easier than just opening it on camera. So let's bust this out. This is really, really, really exciting. So we did a review of Wheels on Meals recently, the Hong Kong Rescue Blu-ray, and in that review I talked about how when Hong Kong Rescue started doing Jackie Chan movies, no one was putting out like awesome HD Blu-rays of Jackie Chan movies. But since they started doing it, a lot of companies, well not a lot, but a handful of companies, Eureka, 88 Films especially, have been working with the company in Hong Kong that holds the rights to those films to go back to film prints and to remaster them and put out these awesome HD, like newly remastered, uncut versions of these movies on Blu-ray. And that's what we have right here. We have three classic Jackie Chan movies. So right on top of the pile is Miracles, which is also called The Canton Godfather, and then I think this is also called Mr. Canton and Lady Rose. And so all the slipcases that you see on here are limited to, I believe, the first, whatchamacallit, like the first pressing, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like the first, is that what it's called? Do you say that with Blu-rays? Like, I know you say that with vinyl. Do you say pressing with Blu-rays? It's like the first run has the limited edition slipcase and then liner notes on the inside too. So I'm going to do, very, very soon, I'm going to do an episode of our show called Why I Like This Movie, about this movie. And I've actually been meaning to shoot that episode for a long time, and we just haven't gotten around to it. And then 88 Films put this out on Blu-ray, and I was like, oh, so I can just get the Blu-ray, and we can coincide it with the Blu-ray release. It'll be like a whole fun thing to do. But this is a really great movie, and I think it's much underrated. It's from the 80s, 1980. I'm looking for the date on the back here. But it's like in that era of those classic Jackie here in 1989. And Yuen Biao has a cameo in this movie. It's really fun, and Richard Ng is in it. And there's two cuts of this movie on this Blu-ray. There's the international cut, which is 107 minutes, and then there's the Hong Kong cut, which is like 2 hours and 7 minutes. And I think the Hong Kong cut is the one I've seen. I don't know if I've seen the international one because I have a Hong Kong DVD, like a region-free Hong Kong DVD of this movie. What do we have here? Crime Story. This movie is awesome. This is like a really violent, I've talked about this movie before on our channel. I think when we did the, I have this movie in a box set of 8 Jackie movies on DVD. And we did a little, just like a little video of me showing off that box set and talking about the different movies that are in it. And I talked a little bit about this movie. And what's really interesting to me about this movie is it's a lot more like a movie that you would expect to see Chow Yun-fat in. It's like violent, it's hard-boiled, it's not literally the John Woo movie Hard Boiled, but it's like a violent police and criminals movie that's very like straight-faced and pretty aggressive and not typical of, I mean, it's rated 18 in the UK, which means it's pretty damn violent. So, because, you know, in the UK they have 15 and 18 as opposed to in the US where we have the PG-13 and the R. So 18 movies tend to be like the really, like there's a fair number of movies that are rated R in the US that end up being 15 in the UK, so 18 are like the really hard, violent ones. And so this is a 2K remaster, I forgot to say, and the Miracles is a 4K remaster from the original Hong Kong cut, and then also I think the international cut, both 4K remasters on here, and then this is a 2K restoration of the original widescreen aspect ratio version of the movie, which I'm just reading on the back here, and it has the original Cantonese mono track and the 5.1 surround soundtrack. There's the English dub on here, and then there's interviews. There's an interview with Mike Leader. There's an interview with Jackie Chan's assistant director on here. That sounds really cool. There's scenes from a Singaporean version of the movie. There's an interview with action impresario Bruce Law, interview with screenwriter Teddy Chan, interview with director Kirk Wong. The original Hong Kong trailer is on here, and then there's double-sided artwork with both Hong Kong and international poster art, so that's really cool. And so bonus features too, just to give you an idea of what's on Miracles. Oh, and this is a 90s movie. I think this is 93. Yeah, 1993. So, but it's still in that. To me, like classic Jackie Chan starts in like 83, which is when Project A and Winners and Sinners came out. And I think some people would start a little bit earlier, like in 1980 maybe. But to me, it's like 83 up until like maybe 96. Whenever, like, to me, First Strike is like the last movie in that classic, and even that is like with Super Cop and First Strike, you know, they shot those internationally, and Rumble in the Bronx too, like they were specifically engineered to appeal to a broad international audience as opposed to the stuff that he'd been making before that was really more about appealing to the audiences in Hong Kong. So I guess you could say 83 to like 93, but I just love First Strike, and I liked it. That to me is a classic Jackie Chan movie, so I like to put it in with those other ones. But either way, this is from that classic period. And then I was going to tell you about the bonus features on Miracles. So what do we have here? Newly translated English subtitles, audio commentary. Let's see. Police story on crack, an interview with Mike Leader. That's amazing, and that actually that does do an interesting, like an accurate job of describing this movie. I already told you what's on that one. I'm losing my mind, people. I'm a little bit sick right now, so bear with me here. This has teasers with clips from the main features of Project A2, Police Story 2, including behind-the-scenes stuff on Miracles. There's an alternate title sequence. There's it looks like a featurette about how Jackie Chan directs action. That's really cool. I'm definitely going to watch that. 'Cause one of the things that makes this movie really unique, which I'll talk about when I do my in-depth video on it, is the visual design of this movie, which harkens back to like classic Hollywood movies of like the 30s with these good, really long, like elaborate crane shots and stuff like that. So finally, we have The Protector. So I have already done an episode of our show, Why I Like This Movie, on this film, and I will link to that in the description of this video if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on IGTV, it's definitely up on there, so if you just scroll through our videos, you should be able to find it. And then I really want Mike to watch this movie. So, Mike and I do movie reviews together for 80s Nerdgasm and for our YouTube channel, and we occasionally will do Hong Kong movies. But this is like this. So there are two cuts of this movie, and they're both on here, which is super exciting. The Protector is an American film. It came out, I think, in 1985, and 85. And the U.S. cut is like this, just like sleazy, hard-boiled grindhouse movie with like lots of violence, nudity, like drugs. And then Jackie Chan did his own Hong Kong cut, which is a little bit shorter, which I think takes out a lot of the nudity and some of the sleazier aspects of it, but then puts in more extended fight scenes that he reshot, especially the climactic fight. So, and they're both, like I said, both of those versions are on here. This is a stunning 1080p presentation on Blu-ray is what it says here. From brand new 2K restoration of the original US theatrical release. There's remastered original audio soundtrack, new audio commentary. The Hong Kong version, like I said, is on here. There's audio commentary on the Hong Kong version as well. That's pretty cool. There's an interview with the director on here from 2019. So brand new interview with the director of this film. His name is James Glickenhaus. And I think he did like other kind of like trashy grindhouse action movies of that era that I'm not going to remember the name of, but I can see the poster for one of them in my head. It's like a guy on a motorcycle holding a pistol, maybe. I know that's really vague, but those are like the types of movies he did. But anyway, so these are all Blu-rays. These are all HD. These are, because that's the nature of Blu-rays, right? But they're all like from remastered 2K and 4K versions of the film. There's all kinds of bonus features on here. They all have the slip cases, so make sure that you get these before the slip cases run out. One thing I do have to mention is that these are Region B. So that means that if you have a U.S. commercial player that has not been in any way manipulated, you won't be able to play them because the U.S. is Region A. Hong Kong is also Region A. I believe Region A is like East Asia and the U.S. I might be wrong about that, but you can buy commercially released Hong Kong Blu-rays, and they will play on U.S. Blu-ray players. Here's the thing. Region-free Blu-ray players are not that expensive. There's a Sony one that's really good. That's like $150, which I know seems really expensive, but in the long run, it's not, considering like the Blu-ray player I've had for like 7 or 8 years. So if you break that in months, that's like what, like almost 100 months. So you're paying like $1.50 a month for it because they last a long time. It's ultimately not that expensive if you measure it out over time, and then you can watch movies from anywhere in the world, which is really awesome. The other thing you could do is you could buy an independent like Blu-ray drive and put that into your computer and just run the movie through a program that's region free, like a region free player on your computer, basically. So we will put links in the description of this video to where you can go and buy all of these and learn more information about them. Like I said, the company is called 88 Films. This is Miracles. This is Crime Story. This is The Protector. We are going to do more videos on all of these. We're going to do over-the-shoulder unboxing so you can see all the artwork and the booklets and stuff like that. I'm going to do Why I Like This Movie episodes on Miracles and on Crime Story. I'm going to try to get Mike to watch The Protector so that we can do like a first watch episode on that. My name is Will. This is Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.